So what are we doing here? I just walked in the room. We're teaching Bear the
yeah.
place command, which is essentially, controlling his movement. And in a dog, with a dog who's used to freely moving all over the house, this can be a tough concept. So right now, Josh is able to walk all over the room. The other dogs are able to walk freely all over the room, and we're asking Bear to stay on the place bed. Eventually, this will become really, really handy and valuable, especially when guests come in the house. Bear has a habit of rushing up and barking. He's got to be held back. The place command basically tells him, hey, go lay here, you're not involved, and we don't want you barking and charging our guests. So this is the start. We start with small distractions. We told him to get on the bed and stay, and now we just start adding distractions, and he learns to hold it until either released or given another command.
There. Good boy. Quick.
Good boy. He knows that release, huh?
Yeah.
So then, that's where he wants to go. He wants to be far away from any sort of training, so he'll get a recall back.
Alright, Bear. Play.
It's tougher for him going in the kennel, using the recall again. It's tougher for him, he's, 2 years old. He's used to being in either, at least in his head, the top guy, doing what he wants when he wants. And now we're sort of trying to take back that control. And so he just has to get used to it. Good. So you notice how when he went over here, Josh used the recall to get him back. He went in the kennel, Josh used the recall again. We got him back on place.
Good boy. That's why you gotta love the recall.
Yes, it's non-negotiable.
Yeah, you can really keep the dog in the conversation. So we teach
Recall would have come in handy that one day with the maintenance man.
Absolutely. It's such a safety net.
Right, because you would have seen him run up to the maintenance man. You would have been able to correct and recall immediately before he even got up to the person. So it's like crucial to have that when you have your dog off leash, to have a recall.
Yeah, it's like the best command, really,
right.
Because you can get them to come back to you, and if you can get them to come back to you, you have to stay
right
there because they're not going to leave. So it is the most important one, I think. And we teach it first so that we can use it when I'm trying to teach another command, whether it's place or heel or whatever. The dogs tend to say, I'm done, and they walk away.
Bye-bye.
Given my style, I'm not always holding them with a leash, putting them on the place, or putting them in command. They leave, I can just correct and recall them and ask again, keeping them in the conversation. Say, I'm trying to tell you to do something. I'm trying to teach you something. And so they can walk away like he did. He tried to. I said, come over here and, we're going to start working. He said,
no thanks.
So I could just correct and get them to come back. And they can run away as many times as they want.
And this is all hands free.
Right. I like it that way because it allows the dog to try everything that's on their mind. So by the time they listen, by the time they say, okay, fine, I'll listen, they're doing it on their own, right? I'm not moving them with the leash. But also, they've already tried their ideas, so then all the stress kind of starts to go away. You see a lot more stress if I were to just force him to go on the bed. For days and weeks and maybe even forever, he'll just be stressed about being on the bed because he wants to go try his ideas. This way, lets him try his ideas, right? So, like you said, he's not used to being controlled. He's not used to listening. He's not a follower. He's just doing what he wants when he wants. And that got him into a lot of trouble. He's very nervy, and he's very suspicious and skeptical and easily sent into fight or flight, which also puts him into all sorts of bad places in the brain where he's going to overreact, such as attacking the maintenance man or attacking me or attacking anything that, if he gets spooked, he's going into that place of fight or flight and he's going to use his teeth, right? So, and he gets spooked way too easy. So he's underdeveloped as far as his understanding of the world, his understanding of the pack and how he should be behaving, his understanding of his relationship with humans. Everything's not developed properly. So he's really in a bad place. So he's in a really bad place. He needs rehab, but we're going to start with recall. Because it really is huge. It's a leadership exercise too. Like if I can say, come here, right? And he has to come to me when I tell him to, that's huge for leadership. And then once I get that recall, I can start putting the stay in there. Now I'm leading him. Now I'm controlling his movements. And it just tells the brain that you know, I'm the leader. If I can get you to move and I can get you to stay on command, I'm leading, right? That's why they fight it. That's why bear's fighting it, and that's why every other dog will eventually put up a stink when you're trying to do recall or stay in the beginning, because they're smart. They realize it's not about the recall, it's not about the stay. They realize it's about hierarchy and leader versus follower. They know the conversation is a ritual of hierarchy, right? Just like King and Riggins would have certain talks about hierarchy, they see that these commands are also that way. They see that it means that you're giving me control, right? So if you just start to listen, that means that you're pretty much telling me that I'm the leader and that I can
handing over the key to the car.
Right? You're signing the document, right? So same with the two dogs here when they have their ritual, which is going to be sniffing each other, humping each other, guarding food and resources. That's their ritual of figuring it out. There's going to be these moments of confrontation and conflict where they're going to resolve themselves. Somebody's going to end up winning that confrontation. And then eventually they won't have to have the buck heads because they'll know, okay, maybe Riggins is the one that gets it. Okay, so Riggins is now above, meaning he has first access to resources. But they had to go through the fight. They had to go through the conflict and they had to work it out, right? Same thing the dogs are going to do to me. They're going to see that I'm going after control, right? They're going to see that that's what it's about, so then they're going to then see it as conflict and they're going to put up a little bit of a stink. If I'm able to be successful and more competent in these conversations and kind of win the conversation, if you will, then eventually they give it up just like they would in a pack and they respect you and they allow you to lead. But they don't do it without that. Never met a dog that did. All I see is dogs that have less intense of a temper tantrum, right? Mm-hmm. Less intense of a problem, right? So some dogs will fight tooth and nail and then give it to you and allow you to lead. And some dogs will just throw a little bit of temper tantrum and then they'll give it to you. But no dog have I ever met in my life just says, for free, you can lead. They don't do it to each other because they're designed to push on each other to find out who's actually most competent, right? So that's what they do to us. As soon as they realize it's not a game where it's just fun, it's actually real life and we're talking about pack dynamics and hierarchy with these commands, that's when they put up the attitude. And we don't go around the attitude. No. We go through it so we can have success.
Yes.
And create an actual follower. Because this guy is a danger to himself and anybody in the vicinity.
Yeah.
Because he will just attack you. He has stranger danger. He panics quickly. And on top of all this, you say, oh boy, this dog needs help. He doesn't want your help, right? He wants to be independent. He wants to stay this way. It's going to get him killed, and it's going to get others injured, right? So he's realized really quickly, just like they all do, this recall is about me asking for control. This stay is about me asking for control. I want to lead you. So what do? They fight it, right? We go through the fight. On the other end is a follower.
Yes.
Gotta go through the fight.
A dog that you can actually do things with. Imagine that.
You will be surprised how much easier it is to live with these dogs once they're followers. But you don't get it without going through the fight.
Yes.
You know, you go through
and you do not get it through bribing with tennis balls or food.
You can't.
You cannot do it.
There's a reason why I'm not using a food lure, something to motivate him to do these things. It's because we're not having that conversation.
No, if this were a tricks class, we would do that. But this is real life.
Sure. The thing is that if we offer the motivator of food or play to listen,
it still gives him the option.
It still gives him the option, but we're not having a hierarchical conversation.
Right.
We're not entering that part of the brain. So therefore, when he doesn't want to do something, there's a part that we're skipping.
Where he says, I'd rather not because I don't want.
You're not leading if you're doing that stuff. You're just not. You don't see a pack of dogs figure it out by offering treats every time. Hey, if you listen to me, I'll give you a cookie. They don't do that.
No.
It's not even natural for them to do that, right? Not that they don't share food and stuff, and it's not that I don't feed him and give him treats. I don't do it in the context of every time I ask you to do something, I'll trade you, right? If you do what I want, I'll give you something you want. That, it's not the right conversation, right? It bypasses the conversation of, we just need to talk about hierarchy, and the hierarchy is this. If I ask you to do something, do it, and I ask you to stop, because you're part of my pack, And we've went through this ritual so that you now see me as leader and I'm the follower, where that's just natural. Now you get the rewards of me leading. The rewards are I'll protect you and I'll provide for you, right? I'm gonna give you a comfy life with us humans. There's plenty of food, treats, and soft beds, but your part is being a follower, which means you listen. That's really it, listen. So, yeah, it doesn't work to go get a high value reward. I'm not saying it doesn't work to teach the commands. Yeah, you can teach the commands like that. It doesn't work to gain respect.
Right.
And it doesn't work to become the leader, right? Because like you said, it gives the dog the choice. Eventually, you say, do you want to play a game?
Yes.
The dog can say yes or no.
Yeah.
And if the dog can say yes or no, that means they're in control.
Yes.
Which means when it comes to a real situation, and now somebody's at the door, and I'm saying, hey buddy, remember that game I taught you? Do you want to play that game? Nah, not right now. I want to do this first. When I'm done with this, then I'll come play
Yes,
the
then
game.
I'll come play a game.
I'll still get my food because I'll listen in a minute.
That makes so much sense.
But first I'm going to go tear up this squirrel, and then I'll come back and get a treat. And also, the way you teach it, the vibe that you have when you teach it, is the same vibe they're going to have when you go to use it in real life. So if it's not serious, right? If it's not to be taken serious and it's just a fun little game, then when we need to use it, it's a fun little game, right? So I need that recall to be life or death. I need them to take it so seriously that anytime I use it, it turns around and comes right to me, no matter the situation. That'll save their lives and it'll make life easier for us, gives the dog a better life. But if I train it in a way where it's fun and games and it's kind of a relaxed setting where we just get to play, then when I go to use it in real life, it's just this playful, relaxed kind of setting where the dog gets to pick and choose. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So anyway, this guy's a danger to himself and he's a danger to strangers and really anybody who's in the environment with him, because if he goes into fight or flight, it's not good. It's not good. His panic is next level. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous, all right? And then if he gets away from you and people are going to try to help him, they're going to get bit for trying to help him. They're going to say, oh, come here, buddy, right? They're going to try to
grab his collar.
All right? And I don't know how many strikes this guy's had, but I know it's getting up to the point where eventually it's like, okay, what are we going to do? If he just bites a few more times, it's like, that's what happens. People keep getting bit, and eventually somebody's going to do something about it. Somebody's not going to be cool with getting bit, and they're going to push a little further and get maybe a lawsuit involved or something. And this is what happens. So we need control. So we're going through the fight, whatever that may look like. It could be ignoring. It could be biting. It could be
trying to jump the fence, trying to jump out a window.
It could be any of these things. It doesn't matter to me. Let's go through it.
Yep.
Right? If it was another dog who was less intense, they would have their little temper tantrum that wouldn't be as intense as him, right? But it would be the same concept. They're still throwing their little fit. We go through that fight, we create a follower. We're not going around the fight, guys. No. Because then it's always there under the hood.
Sweep it all under the rug.
It's coming back to bite you, literally, eventually. So we go right through it, right? And that's why these dogs turn out solid. And that's why they look good. And that's, by the end, the transformation, they look, you can just see that the dog is a follower. They look reliable, they feel reliable. And that's what people like. And that's why people come to places like this, because their dogs actually feel good. And then people say, wow, the dog feels amazing. I can't believe it's the same dog, or whatever people actually say. And I can just see that they're so surprised that the dog's actually listening. And it's really just because the dog's a follower now. Yeah. They've decided in their brain they're a follower. Gotta go through the ritual. Okay, and part of that ritual is the fight. So I bring all that up to let you know that because he's such a dangerous dog and stuff, it's pretty clear. It's going to be obvious if you see me working with him. You're going to see there was moments in the beginning that you didn't see, let's say, where it was dangerous for me to work with him. Right. Right? Because he's going to go into fight or flight, and guess what? He's going to choose fight, and he's going to be biting. So I think we're past that. There still might be parts that come up with him depending on how he feels during some of these exercises. But I feel like I got enough respect and trust for him that I can do basic stuff with him without him attacking me. So we're good there. We're going to let him off here, and I'm going to just try that recall again. I'm going to try this again, put him on place, and see if I can get it without him choosing to run away first or choosing something else first. Okay, Bear. Great.
Good boy, Bear. Good job, buddy.
That's good.
Good boy. The ironic thing is if you would have asked him to go in the kennel, he probably would have went to the place bed.
You're getting it.
Because it's not about that. It's about doing the opposite of what you ask.
Right.
To continue to hold that upper hand and control.
Because he's smart,
Yes.
and they're all smart, and they know it's
Right.
about hierarchy. They know it's about hierarchy. I'm intentionally making it about hierarchy,
Yes.
so they read right through it. Or maybe somebody else might say that it's like, it's just a command. He doesn't like to read.
Yes.
He doesn't,
He doesn't like the
place.
place bed.
It's not even that. It's control. He doesn't want to give you control. But guess what you need? Control.
Yes.
For him to have a good life,
Yeah.
for any of these dogs to have a good life, so the leader, the human that owns them needs to have control. Because most humans, I mean, every client I've ever worked with have been good humans. Like they want
For
the best for the dog. They want the dog to have a great life. The dog doesn't listen though. Dog doesn't give a shit. They don't listen, they make it hard on the human.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over. It's the same case. All these dogs have loving humans that are trying to bend over backwards to give them a good life. And they don't care. They don't care. They just, because they're dogs. They're not us, right? You have to give them tough love, and then all of a sudden, you see the best version of them, right? You see the best version of them, and then you can enjoy it. You can reap the rewards.
Hiking, fun
Right.
stuff. Yes.
But if you just try to just be friendly and nice and kind and avoid all the conflict, it's not natural in a pack to do that anyway. They're going to take advantage of it, and they're just going to try to lead, and they're not meant to lead,
Right.
especially in a human's world, and they get messed up, very unstable. So look, I'm able to touch him and stuff now. I'm able to. He's not afraid of me, so he's not going into fight or flight, right? I can do all this weird stuff I couldn't do. He knows I'm not out to harm him, but what he does know is I'm out to lead. I want you in my pack. I want to be a family, but I get to call the shots. So now we're having that
Some butts
conflict.
and heads, yeah.
Before it was like strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Now we built a bit of a pack. Now we're talking about who gets to lead. Good. Good boy.
Gosh, he is kind of cute.
He's very unstable, so I don't know where the brain, how it'll feel once he's stable. He's not. He's so far from where he needs to be.
I know.
His brain is so bad right now
Yeah.
that I haven't even seen a glimpse of a stable mind.
Yeah. He's acting like he's living post-apocalyptic life.
Oh yeah, like his life's in danger
Yep.
constantly. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Also, I'm sure in his living room that he grew up in, maybe he was fine. But outside of that, or if you add something in that environment that's strange, it would just go into
Yeah.
it. And that's just because he was the leader in his mind. He had the weight of the responsibility of deciding how to deal with the situations. He thought he had to deal with the maintenance man. He has to deal with the outside
Knocks at the
world.
door, yep.
He's got to figure out how to respond to it,
Right.
which is why he's overreacting. See, for him to go on the side like this and to relax, it's not perfect, like he's still tense.
But he's not trying to bite you.
He wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, we can
unless
turn
he
this
trusted
into a
his
nail Dremel
behavior.
session too.
What's that?
Nail Dremel session.
Right.
By the looks of his nails, I don't think anyone's able to do them.
Probably not. Probably not. He's flinchy on the paws as it is. He's flinchy. Yeah. So, back to control. I'm going to ask him to go on the bed. We're gonna see.
Does he choose the crate or the door instead? Let's
Okay, is
see.
he going to listen or is he going to
It's not lack of knowledge.
give me a
It's-
hard time? Okay, Bear. Come. Good boy. Place. Okay, I like that. Good.
Wow! What a good boy!
That one I liked.
Wow, good job.
That one I liked a lot. That was very good.
You've made such huge progress in
Huge.
under a week. I mean, gosh.
Still a long ways to go with him because it'll start to happen. You'll start to see big progress. Now that he's starting to listen a little bit more and allowing me to lead, eventually we're going to be able to take it out of our the training room in the yard out into the world and really start to hopefully build some confidence in there.
Yeah.
Exposed into the world as a follower though, not as a leader. He can't be the leader. It'll go very bad. So this is good. This is good. Good boy. Okay?
Now, will you start having him like out on a place bed as you paint? And,
Absolutely.
like, yeah, just kind of
Get him used to
daily life.
Yeah, it's because things happen when you live with them a little bit. You know?
Yeah.
We get Amazon packages all the time, and
Yeah.
that'll just randomly happen. They knock on the door, you see the guy walking by the window. And plus, if you're living with them, they kind of end up relaxing a little bit into it, and you can see more authentic reactions, right? He's in training mode right now, or whatever mode he's in, but I'm in training mode. He's still stressing, but the more he spends time with me and the
It'll go
more
down.
we work, this goes away. Because it's healing for him to be a follower. Trust me, dude, you don't want to be the leader. It sucks, because then you have all the responsibility. Being a follower, they learn to love it. They really, really learn to enjoy it and find comfort in it once they've been doing it a while. Good. Good boy. Alright. I want to recall him. Just little basic things here.
Let's see how his position
Here.
is.
Stay.
We want him
That's
hearing
good.
his name and stopping to pay attention and not recalling just to his name.
That's good. That's good. That's very nice. There. Good boy. I like that. That's nice. I'm willing to bet there's chow in this dog.
Yeah. The spots on his tongue and the curly tail.
But he's got the curly tail.
Yeah, and chows are not known for being the friendliest
He's
dogs.
got that
Yeah.
temperament of
Yeah.
a chow too. I had a chow growing up, but he was mine.
They're known to be friendly to one owner.
Right.
That's
I was
it.
like the guy.
That's it.
Me and that dog were close.
Yep.
Good. But he also was a great, for me as a kid, I felt like he was a great dog looking back because I wasn't leading him,
Right.
but he was looking after me.
Right.
I was young. And so when we went out into the woods and stuff, he never ran away from me.
Yeah.
He would stay with me. Looking back on it, he was kind of probably looking after me
Yeah.
because I was so young. Good boy. And I just love that dog so much. I use him as a pillow like I did. I spent so much time with this dog and was so bonded to him. And I knew nothing about dogs. All I know is that he was a chow. Good. Good boy. Bear. Come. That's good.
Nice job.
That's good.
Working on that position. Yeah, dogs have subtle ways. Look at that.
There. Yes.
Dogs
Go
have
ahead.
subtle ways to say I'll do it, but I'm drawing the line at how much I'm gonna comply. And like a really good example of that is like the recall position. Like, yeah, I'll come to you now, but I'm not gonna come right in front of you. You know what I mean? Like, I'll comply 98%, but I'm not gonna give that final 2. See? It's so hard for them to do that.
Good.
Good, there it is.
Good.
But they make you earn it. They really do.
Every dog.
They make you earn it.
Every
Yep.
dog. The only difference is how intense they make it.
Yes.
Some dogs don't make it that intense at all.
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
go through a little back.
You also
and
have to know what
forth.
you're looking for. Like,
That's it.
some people don't know what they're looking for, and
Good.
they don't even know they need to address the recall position.
But
Yeah.
I'll tell you, yes, this is very true. Very true. I'll tell you this though. After working with people for so long with their dogs, what you do notice is they become fed up with the dogs and frustrated with their dogs.
Yeah, they'll hit a breaking point.
And you can see it's like, and they should be feeling that way because the dog's totally just being, you know, frustrating, let's say. They're not listening and the person's bending over backwards, right? You've probably already saved the dog's life from a rescue. You've probably went on your way and made sure that they're cleaned up, fed well, all this stuff, and then they want to recall,
Right.
right? It's like, so they get frustrated, but what I'm trying to say, my point is that frustration that just about every owner feels when you're working with them, that is your internal kind of compass telling you, you know, that you need to do something.
Right.
You're like frustrated with the dog. That's definitely your instincts telling you this isn't okay.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
we need to do something about this. So they would probably get frustrated in that moment there. It's like, no, I need you right here. But he's over there, and he's over here. It's like, come right here. You know, so they'll probably feel those emotions, which is just, you know, exactly, it's telling you something needs to be done. It's not, you can't live like that. Good. Because what if I really needed him right here? Because that happens. You know, we're in a situation where I need you right here, right now. And he's playing this dicking around.
Game. Yeah.
You can't do it. Good. Good boy.
Nice job. Good boy.
Stay.
We didn't have that a couple days ago.
No, we didn't have anything.
We had nothing. Even better.
Very good. break.
Nice job.